guys or also gals or reasons of considerable of extensive amount has been mentioned of. The zinc out there keeps on dribbling its selfish, massive amount of selfish persons throughout places. Reason for proper considerable of other extensive amount has been mentioned. Oh, me here, does resemble gambling. Maybe not the sort of the beer mustache, just due to the Nazi guys. Why has this place gotten, the stuff can be upsetting, we're not allowed to be upset. We had to when we contacted the guys for some kind of mafia. Lots of the cases of the Zabists are they're utterly brutalists. Lots of them should be shot. There should be no stopping force, or not like, oh, he said shoot them. Buddy, Iranians invented the guns. Has we harmed anyone? What the fuck was that? The Muslims, of the cases of the Muslims, or first of all, fuck everything, also fuck colleges, also fuck your family. That gets to the right level. Or sort of kind of a sort of a much more reasonable for proper sort of kind of a sort of a, who is also reasonable for proper also reason for proper also or reason there for proper reason mentioned for proper or proper. What's up with the slowness? Oh, well, he has some demons possessed stuff. That's too slow, man. It's already confirmed. Come on, the stuff they are demons, or reason for proper or proper they are devils or stuff. A reason for proper considerable mainly of proper already being confirmed with. May not be for the cases of the extremists or gorms of on the case of the extremists or gorms. Extensive issues out there. The of the cases of lots of the stranger society, not sort of for reason for proper utter brutalists. Society today not sympathetic. There's just pressure me I'm supposed to be producing some productivity while it's probably simply just repeating a lot of the reason for proper or compared with a bit of lesser of more of announcement. But almost both wouldn't result to certain changes. Reason for proper. The Vatican, of the cases of the Vatican or also the governments are as if they're expecting a bunch of teenagers with low economic level or the total amount of what be calculated so little with it, they with Twitter accounts managed to start a revolution. Get the fuck out with that. Get the fuck out with that. There are persons dying out there. They're seeing some kind of fucking drama play. They did indeed remove a lot of this. This place is being ruled by these underling bosses. They only preemptively death-marked Trump, so Donald Trump probably got scared a bit. I don't want my parents to get shot, or my entire family get shot as fascists. But you know what, Trump, you should start to consider trading off your parents, or trading off some of your family members for this outcome. We are doing this, probably better results. What reason, or probably also for probably optional. Daily sabotage, regular inflictions where the schools operate as their thing. It says, oh, it's by the federal government. What kind of fucked up disease are these, man? Suppose I'll get reason for proper bit of another version of reason proper. Suppose I'll get start to step towards those of the verifications or common right, like some kind of pinata getting hit by multiple occasions at Street Fighter app. Yeah, so reason for proper also had. What the fuck is that? This is by, if it's by Nazis, it ain't good. If it's a compliment or also a compliment for Nazis, well, it's for Nazis, and how decent of a compliment could that be? Or a reason for proper also not a compliment. If the Nazi stating of, oh, he's objective towards that, or some kind of nonsense font, I tell them quit spazzing. They can get actually prosecuted. It will be fun to prosecute them because we like to be more pleasing towards them. We would like to know the results when, or probably also match towards Nazism a bit of a, or sort of a mirror version, or reason of there for proper mirror, or reasons of there for proper another, for proper mirror version, or reason for proper another version, reason there for proper or similar version, reason proper or matched, or another version of stab them, and or reason for want to know how the results will be when they are stopped, when they are stabbed multiple times, span around. That's light. That's not without the opposites around provoking it. That's light. That's not even engaging on those situations. It is rather if they're sort of accusers, not of the first or their relation status aren't with others. They're antisocials. They're mass amount of these antisocials. They're simply check out this economic locusts. They ain't sort of there are 5 of them. There's everywhere with them, and while they still tumor spreading, somehow they're recognized as humans, select nationalists to prosecute, keeps lying like a bunch of factory churn machine that would they take a fucking rest? They're not some kind of important person. Who told them to stop this? Listen, they're highly providential. There's no football here in our team. We invite others to investigate. Check out how hideous those are. Those are probably very hideous. Me tend to sort of a proper person here tend to be with the persons that he likes. Well, over there's probably another world. It's not just sort of a different terrain. Those are notice everyone much nicer than other reasonable also all those standards shouldn't shift about you. So what if me and the king of corruption, what are they gonna do? Accept it, don't be a retard. It might be a cannibal is a force of nature, so it's powerful, it's unchangeable, also only retards fight. Why would someone even think about fighting? It's an automatic reaction. Recently, there are probably comfortable of reasons before mentioned. Under sort of not automatic, there's automatic, or also before automatic, not automatic, there's during the probable could be a bit more of namely probable, also reasonable probable, also probable. Reasonable probable also, or reasonable probable also, for reasonable probable another, for reasonable probable, or reasonable probable also, more sequence of reasons of, or probable considerable failure mention of reasons for probable A earlier note of, or reason for probable reason thereof, or probable also of a one of reason mentioned. Notice this language stuff, it's lots of which former parents are kidnappers. There are worse things. Unsensible, unelegant, or reasonable, not organized, also unsensible persons tethered towards the elegant. There's been war fought on against harmony. They're fighting harmony. Then what do they deserve? Also, what those reasonable, what those are. Reasonable, also what those dishonor. They need proofs to persuade Hitler is decent. They have fucking proof was right there. What else proof they want? A free airship? They want more welfare as proofs? Shoot them all. Reason they are probably considerable to change the subject. When we declare shoot them all, it might not result to shoot a lot of them even. When Muslims don't declare shoot them all, they are there. They already have shot a lot. Notice in the places, how does me sustain it? Maybe I'm Voldemort. What are they gonna do? Under our control. Enjoy the play for the not really under our control. It's being, or how about also a large amount of persons like Santa stories more than it should be a problem with Santa stories. The reason they're or probably more. They complete their goals. We complete our goals. Reason they're in regular pronoun or proper or regular trash pronoun for reason for proper or also then for reason for proper regular pronoun reason for proper or also description for not to proper and so forth. Noticing a lot of the white which format people, they're utterly fucking crazy. They're really good at being crazy. They sort of doesn't have to think about it. They just does it. Or reason for proper crazy does it. White people with their negligence, holy riddance. They know how to mess up to the maximum extent of their skirmishness. So the only last thing that preventing them, or rather, any savage, rather much more sensible than this preservation of nature or preservation of Native Americans, namely, needs to be more vigorous because it's not the case of someone, or it has a result of unintended consequences, for instance. It's a mass amount of Nazis purposely prosecute towards them, along also with knifing towards social harmony, also peace, prosecute towards the nationalists. If a person speaks like a nationalist on a chat room, they're immediately going to be sabotaged against, or it will be, they didn't throw a knife there for something like that. They to throw knives. If they throw knives, they will be actually more sane than these scrumptious, sickly
of some of the or reasonable probable of those cases of thickly slimery entities of reasonable probable with formal citizens. Notice the word public has become associated with mass amount of those crimes that are not caught of reasonable probable with something probable not acceptable, reasonable or probable with some hideousness of public sectors, public persons, reasonable or public with formal persons, reasonable or probable or public formal persons of sort of adjacent to this publicanism gang. Those are against the lines. That's not some sort of opposition, that's a mental disease. If they had the energy to bother to do something, why not still be a thief or operate as thieves does? Instead they bother to also gone to the level of also had sort of the determination towards counter towards lines. For the announcement type, for them to sort of go closer to declare, they must have almost a large Nazism base, or reason for lots of Nazism ordinances. If the government, more of the government modules become Nazis, those wouldn't declare. It would still be as if Prince Edward is there, Margaret and Elizabeth's hospital still operational. It may as well just be a thief stating Elizabeth's Margaret still operational. How difficult it is to notice the language itself has been Exclusion Act. It is probably one of the first set of, or one of first set of reasonable or one of first set of pokerization hobby sort of, or reasonable or also reasonable or something utterly gimmickry gone to the sort of luxury level. Notice it doesn't contain eleganceness. It's bland. Or reasonable or sort of bland, mainly of, or reasonable or majorly more attained with reasonable more of patheticism. The opposite spread a lot of patheticism to throughout places of those combat romance can probably kind of via spread patheticism or directly tackle towards romance. A single couple inhibitor elements usually can, for example, if someone plants landmines even, although may not be probably a major example of, or reasonable that much of example to the reasonable or a pinnacle example, reasonable or a top example of, then reasonable or a major example of at a romantic trail, then romance days will be ruined. That itself may not destroy sort of or be totally major problematic, but so the divide one devastating two major different events. Also the alarmism doesn't trigger, or there doesn't come, so just not enough that there will be immediate reactions. They, after checking on comedy channels, and they snooze off. Noticing the morbidness of those. It's utterly some sort of cerebral Nazi that are engineering how this corpse should operate, simulate a sort of a society to reasonable people when they speak to common persons. That's when they want to harvest resources from. Reasonable people are the only occasion those talks to the reasonable people were spent talking with reasonable people talking to the common persons of reason for also of reason there mentioned of reason for people or of reason there mentioned of a reason for people or reason of there of mention of a reason for people or also another for reason for people or reason there mentioned of. Reason for or also that's it for this video, or also video instance of reason for or also another, then of a reasonable proper word, then of a reasonable proper word, then of a reasonable for proper, then of reasonable also another, then of reasonable proper also another of reasonable word, then of reasonable for proper. That's it for this video, or proper also video instance of